So the headlines, unfortunately, have not been great for downtown Dallas lately, but finally a little bit of good news is brewing. Morgan Stanley and Dallas College are bringing in some new economic opportunity as Neiman Marcus, AT&T, Fifth Third Bank are leaving and taking jobs with them. Here to talk about the impact of these projects is Dallas Business Journal Editor-in-Chief Will Anderson. We're glad you're with us, Will. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Before I get to the business of this, isn't it cool to hear that people see Dallas on TV from across the world and say, I want to come?
Isn't that fun?
I know. It's nice to see all that. So let's talk a little bit about what you've been hearing in the last 32 hours or so from Morgan Stanley to Dallas College's El Centro campus. Just catch us up on what's been happening.
Sure. So Wednesday afternoon, or Wednesday during the day, Morgan Stanley had incentives approved by Dallas City Council for a potential major office right in Uptown, right there across from the Central Business District. And the company hasn't confirmed this, but if they do go there, you're talking about $1 billion tower.
Wow.
Really big, lots of jobs, high-paying jobs in finance. And then later that same day on Wednesday, then coming into this morning, we had El Centro, or Dallas College, talking about their big plans for the El Centro campus, which have kind of been in the works for a long time, but now the company, or the college rather, says they're moving forward with this $500 million redevelopment, and they've selected the company they want to lead it all.
Let's talk about Morgan Stanley first here. What does this mean for Y'all Street? And we hear so much about Y'all Street. Is Morgan Stanley going to be a part of that?
Absolutely. I'm sorry for always talking about Y'all Street, but I'll reiterate, they haven't confirmed they're coming, but we know the other place they're looking outside in the Atlanta, Georgia suburbs, incentives haven't come up yet, so Dallas seems to have a really good shot. And if they come here, experts in finance, just business leaders tell us that, yes, this really cements that Y'all Street reputation. Morgan Stanley does not have a major hub. Pretty much all the other really large investment banks do here. Morgan Stanley does not. So bringing their name in, you know, in my personal opinion, I think it means fewer eye rolls in New York when people say Y'all Street.
Oh, I get that.
It's kind of tongue-in-cheek, it's fun, I like to talk about it, but really this kind of shows that all the big banks want to be here, and this is the new financial center for the South.
That they believe in what we're offering.
Yeah.
Okay. El Centro, why is that development turning heads? Why are people paying attention?
So a lot of people, downtown backers, are really looking forward to what El Centro is going to do. They had pointed out that you're going to have a lot more economic activity, you're going to have new development, new construction, certainly, but also creating just more of a real campus feel. You take El Centro, which is currently dispersed, 30,000 students or so across different buildings, putting them all in one spot right there on kind of the edge of the West End, near some of the some less desirable parts of downtown right now, and really injecting with new life, new activity. And I think that what you're going to see is a lot of construction, a lot of things happening, and the company they selected to lead all this, Matthews, is also involved with the convention center redevelopment, owns a lot of real estate in the Cedars to the south. So, if plans are going to coalesce around a bigger plan for downtown, for the urban core and what to do with it, both this and new jobs happening just to the north and uptown, that really speaks to there is still optimism. There's still people who see opportunity in downtown.
Let's talk about that. How do you think of this when we've had the big losses? I ran through them earlier. Neiman Marcus, Fifth Third. There are some major, the Mavericks. I mean, there's some major things that are leaving downtown. But when you talk about adding, does this make up at least a portion of that?
Yeah, I mean, on the balance, I would say so. It's hard to really talk about like winners and losers here, but to your point, there are some things the suburbs offer that downtown Dallas just can't.
Big
sites for campuses, things like that, a lot of room for development. But there are things downtown offers that the suburbs can't in terms of walkability, the concentration of cultural things, museums, restaurants, etc. So yes, there's been a lot of losses for downtown, and that, there's still a trend of like challenging times for downtown. Nobody would argue against that. But there are some opportunities for downtown, and especially when it comes from people, we just talked about the World Cup, people from outside viewing downtown and viewing Dallas and thinking, hey, it looks pretty great. Well, that's an interesting narrative and source of new economic opportunity that really should benefit the whole region.
Absolutely. All right. Will, thank you so much. Great information there. It's always good to look at things with fresh eyes, and I think that's bringing it to us. So.